Well, I'll tell you, it never takes long when I get on Jim's boat. It's always this easy. I don't know if he does some sort of fish dance or whatever before we get out in the morning, but you know, while you're reeling this one in, Chris, let's talk a little bit about the Pleasure Craft Operator card. You know, I carry a lot of tackle with me, but for many years now, I've had my Pleasure Craft Operator card.
Yep.
And I really do realize that it's a necessary thing to have, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about safety. And Bob, how it works is basically if you operate a motorized vessel, you need to carry what we call proof of competency. And the Pleasure Craft Operator card is basically the most common form of proof of competency.
That's good. And talking about competency, you're very competent with a rod and reel. You just keep catching them.
Coming up on this week's episode, it's trolling with Transport Canada aboard Drifter 2 charters in Leamington, Ontario. Krista Kendall from Transport Canada joins Bob to talk about Pleasure Craft Operator competency, while Captains Jim Fleming and Terry Vandewaer put them on to incredible fishing action and a real fishing first ever, netting a triple header trolling for Lake Erie Walleye.
Oh, nice jump. There we go, boys. Whoa.
Look at that magnificent fish.
Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Look at the size of that fish.
I think I love it.
Get him, Bob. Get him, Bob.
Nice.
Wow.
The Real Fishing Show with Bob Izumi.
All right. That is a big rainbow trout, Chris.
And the Bobby Zumi pose.
That is awesome, girl. Yeah. That is all right. Man, that is so cool. Look at the color of that. Isn't that something? Nice. Look at that chunk. Whoa, baby.
Real Fishing is sponsored by Mercury, #1 on the water, and Tim Hortons.
On the Real Fishing Show, we make catching fish like this a possibility. Well, we're down on the western basin of Lake Erie. We've got a little bit of wind here in Leamington, but it should be a good day on the water for fish catching. We'll be with Drifter 2 Charters, and I'm here with Krista Kendall. Krista, you're with Transport Canada, and what's your title there?
I'm the chief of the National Pleasure Craft Operator Competency Program.
That's why I asked you what your title was, because that is a mouthful. And you're from Ottawa?
That's right.
All right, now, have you ever fished down here in the Western Basin?
No, and I'm really looking forward to getting out today.
Well, we're gonna have some fun out there. We're with 2 charter captains, Terry Vandewaer and my old buddy, Jim Fleming, who I've been with many times before. And the fishing should be decent, although sometimes the warm water gets blown out and the cold water comes in. They're already giving me excuses at Tim Hortons this morning. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll talk some boating safety on the boat. What do you think?
Sounds great.
All right, let's get down there. Well, that took about 2 minutes. We just got all the rods set up here on Drifter 2 Charters, and Krista's reeling in fish #1. This is pretty tough fishing, isn't it?
Gotta love it.
Pretty tough fishing. I can't believe it. Like, we're talking just set up. Now, we're not fishing far offshore today. Jim didn't want to go out there and battle too big a wave, so I bet you we're not a mile and a half, maybe only a mile offshore.
Under a mile.
Under a mile. Everything looks bigger when you're on Lake Erie. Here it comes. Very good. Perfect size. Oh. Oh. Hey, what kind of netting job was that? All right. There we go. Good stuff. Now that's what Lake Erie is famous for, walleyes, and that is just a perfect specimen right there.
That is perfect.
What do you think?
Basically how it works, Bob, is if the boat has a motor, you're required to have your Pleasure Craft Operator card.
When we return, Bob and Krista discuss Pleasure Craft Operator competency amidst more walleye action aboard Drifter 2 Charters. Stay tuned. Let's take a look down under with this week's Fish Eye View, sponsored by Toro. Count on it. Of the many species of panfish available to anglers, the largest and most popular are crappies. Catching them, however, is often a case of feast or famine. After ice out, they predictably head for shallow bays that are first to warm up. Time it right, and you'll find an absolute bonanza of crappies. Because warm water rises, the upper layer is where you should be fishing. Highly structure-oriented, a float and jig combo is the best way to search out docks and other features that draw fish. And it's best to keep things close to the surface. How close? Real close. Crappies are programmed to ambush prey from below. During summer, crappies spread out, making them difficult to find and stay on top of. Consistent locations are floating docks, anchored boats, and boathouses. Look for any heavily shaded cover, the darker the better, and pitch bait deep into the zone. Because they can be very picky, always carry a good selection of baits, and don't forget that old standby, minnows. During summer and winter, crappies often suspend over deep water, where a fish finder is a must. Once located, try vertical jigging. To ferret out the biggest slabs, don't be afraid to upsize that bait. We found the Lindy Darter ideal for the purpose.
Now that fish just took right off and took out of the release. See the planer boards that we have here, Chris, to keep the lines away from the boat, right?
Right.
And so what the pattern that Jim and Terry have got here is they've got the lines spread out accordingly on either side of the boat, and those clips that go down towards the planer board just are little rubber pads that hold the line in. When a fish hits, it just releases. This fish tore it right out of the release, so hopefully it's a good fish. Good job.
Another good
job. Very nice.
Yes.
Hey, we're hooked up again, and it seems to be an ongoing problem to have, and a good one. A good one at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Krista, you know, a lot of people are wondering who needs the pleasure boat operator card. Like, is there an age that you need it, or if you're at a certain age, like you're older, you don't need it? Let's clear that up, because
Yeah.
I know a lot of folks want to know.
Basically how it works, Bob, is if the boat has a motor, you're required to have your pleasure craft operator card. So there's no age limit to the card. However, we do have something that's called age and horsepower restrictions. So young operators are actually limited to the size of the vessel that they can operate when they're unsupervised.
Okay, so you know, if you've got a 12-foot aluminum boat and an electric motor on the transom or bow, you need the pleasure craft operator
You need
card.
to carry proof of competency, that's right.
Right on. Okay, now I understand that across the country, you know, the police are out, they're enforcing.
Yeah.
You know, there's some fines that have been handed out, so you really want to get your card. And guess what I have? I have a fish that does not start with a W. It starts with an S. Krista, when you're going out fishing or just going out to have some fun on the water, there's a few things you should do before you even get out there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Want to make sure that you check the weather, let somebody know where you're going, have all your safety equipment on board the boat, and make sure everybody's got their life jackets on. A lot of it's common sense.
And the other thing too is if you've got cell service in the area that you're going to be out there, take a cell phone or VHF marine radio and just play it safe. Oh, you got a nice walleye on there. Very nice. Yeah, that's a
good
better
size.
fish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Whoa, there we go. Look at there. Very
Now
nice.
we're talking.
Very nice. There we are. Yeah, that's the biggest one so far today. Look at that. Yeah.
That's
What do you
good size.
think? Shall we
Great
get a picture?
size. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's a good
That's a good
size.
fish.
Oh yeah.
You figure that is about 8 pounds maybe? Pushing?
Good 7.
Yeah.
Coming up, Bob lands the big walleye of the day, and Krista talks about life jacket and personal flotation device safety and selection. Stay tuned. This tip of the week is sponsored by Coleman, the outdoor company.
I like being in on cutting edge technology, and if you're like me, you get frustrated using outdated gas cans to refuel power equipment. I'm excited to show you an innovative product designed to eliminate those frustrations, the G-Can. Here with me today is Dennis Goodnow, an industry expert all the way from California who has had 15 years experience regulating gas cans. He's working with FTT, an Atlantic-based Canadian company. Thanks for being here today, Dennis. Tell us more about this great product.
Thanks, Bob. The G-Can is engineered with several advanced features that work with the user to control the flow of gasoline to the equipment tank, providing them full control from start to finish. This control makes refueling easy and helps prevent those frustrating spills.
That's great, Dennis. You know, as someone who's spilled a bit of gas over the years, I really love the features of the G-Can. Now, does that mean that I don't have to fight with the gas can when I need to refuel my power equipment?
That's right, Bob. With the dual action patented foot pump embedded right into the container, the user no longer needs to lift, hold, and balance that heavy and awkward gas can. And with the gas station style nozzle, the operator can control the flow and stop it before an overfill occurs. It's just like filling your car or truck at the gas station.
Wow, so no lifting and no spills. That's great. I understand there are additional features that other products don't offer.
Bob, you can't tell by looking at the G-Can, but there are actually two hoses, one inside the other. The gasoline flows through the outer hose and vapors are collected by the nozzle and returned to the container through the inner hose. This allows the G-Can to not only collect those harmful vapors, but also to sense when the equipment tank is full, tripping the nozzle auto shutoff feature, thus preventing overfills. This is what we call smart sensing technology.
The G-Can is clearly the ultimate refueling system. Besides making your life easier and protecting the environment, the G-Can will help keep fuel out of the water and off your hands, increasing your chances of catching more fish. Get your G-Can today and start reeling them in. If you want more information about the G-Can, visit www.gcan.com. Jim calls the sheephead rubber heads. I've never heard of them called that before, but whatever this is, it's got a bit more weight to it. All of a sudden I could just feel thump, thump, thump. And that could be a sheephead or a walleye because they both have that head thump to them.
You can't tell them apart, really.
No, you can't. So we'll see what happens here. And Krista, it would only be appropriate that if it's a walleye, about 10 pounds that I catch it, you know, because I'm supposed to be a professional. Oh yeah, my phone takes really good pictures. I've got an iPhone, and I will confess that it seems to take pictures of fish that look a lot larger than they are in life. Good thing they don't have scales on those iPhones. Oh, this thing is really staying down. Maybe it's foul hooked or something. I don't know. I don't think so though. You wouldn't have felt it head shaking down there. Now, have you done a lot of fishing before, Krista?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Where have you fished before?
Well, I'm from the East Coast, so I come from Nova Scotia.
Right.
So spent some time fishing in the Bredor Lakes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you caught a brook trout out east before?
We've caught a few trouts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, we got something coming up. What do we got? That looks dark. It's right on the surface here. Looks big.
Yeah.
Looks very nice. Looks like a very nice walleye. That looks like very nice. He's trying. Oh, that's a big one. That is a real nice one.
Did you see me practice knocking it off?
Yeah, he was slapping the net trying to scare it off. Very nice. Let's see. You know, another key is if you get behind them, they always look bigger, don't they? That is a good one though.
Yeah, that's a good size.
Good fish. You figure that is about 8 pounds maybe?
Great size.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that is a good fish. Never a dull moment. Let's talk a little bit about life jackets or personal flotation devices. Now, this is a Stearns. It's a manual inflatable that if you pull it, it inflates. It'll keep you floating in the water.
Well, it's probably the most important piece of equipment you can have with you on board your boat. Wear them. There is a technical term for different flotation devices, but basically we have life jackets and personal flotation devices. But generally, most of us know them as life jackets. And the main difference between the two is that a life jacket actually has turning capability. So if you do end up in the water unexpectedly, it will turn you from the face down to the face up position in the water. So when you're picking out a life jacket, make sure that you get something that's Transport Canada approved, one that fits properly, and that's comfortable.
Right.
The statistics are pretty clear. Over 90% of our fatalities out there in the waterways, people aren't wearing a life jacket.
All right.
So
well,
it does save your
that
life.
tells you then.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of, we are not complaining. We are going to be eating fresh fish today and talking about boating safety.
That sounds great.
Good stuff. All right. Let's just talk for a second about how do you get a card? I mean, I know that there are a few ways, aren't there?
When we return, how to apply for a Pleasure Craft operator card and a real fishing first ever, netting a triple header. Stay tuned.
Well, it's like you release a fish, the rods get set up, and another rod goes off. It's like steady. We haven't had any double headers. That's very common, you know, and on this type of fishing when you've got a spread of rods and you've got, you know, a rod for every person on the boat, and usually you double up, and we haven't had a double header yet, so I'm just going to keep an eye on all the rods. Now, let's just talk for a second about how do you get a card? I mean, I know that there are a few ways, aren't there?
Yep. Basically what you need to do is you can contact any of our accredited course providers. So these are private sector organizations that meet Transport Canada standards and regulations, and they're accredited to offer boating safety courses and tests to the public.
Okay, so if you can either take that in a classroom type setting or online?
Yep, there's different options out there. It depends on what works best for you, but you can certainly, some people enjoy the interaction with an instructor, chance to ask questions, or other people like the opportunity to do their course and test over the internet. So that's certainly an option as well.
Well, that's not a bad option there either. So whether you want to take a classroom type setting with an instructor or online.
You can do it online, or if
Yeah.
you prefer to sit at home with a book and just do self-study, you have that option too.
Well, I know that there's a lot of good material in there that everybody has to know if they're going to spend time out here on the water, whether it's a big lake like the Great Lakes or some of the smaller lakes, right?
Absolutely. It's
All
all
right.
about safety.
And it's all about walleyes. Been a good morning, hasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
All right. Okay. Earlier I was talking about double headers, and well, we have two on at once. This is what Erie fishing is all about. It's an incredible fishery, lots of action out here, and once again,
I get to fight one.
yeah, that's not often, is it?
No.
Well, we've got three on right now. I guess triple headers, you can slide over a little bit more.
Make room.
Okay, let's see here. I can do the netting. No, mine's out further, so let's see.
Mary's coming back to that.
Oh, okay, good. Can we put three in the net at once? That would be fun. Okay, you hold yours out there a little bit, Krista. We'll get all three, and let's see if we can put three in the net at once. I don't think I've ever done that before in the history of the Real Fishing Show.
Oh, I got another one going here.
Okay, well, you get that one, Terry. We'll put three in. If we can do this, this is the first on the Real Fishing Show. We've got 1, 2. All right, now that's a Beckman net for you right there.
There's one more on.
Oh, there's another one, Krista.
Oh, there's two more on.
2 more.
There's another one on too.
Is there one more or 2 more on?
One more.
One more. So quadruple header, but the other one's still on the line. That's pretty cool. That is cool. I got to get a picture of 3 fish in a net on my phone. Is that another one? Oh, okay. Well, here. Well, okay. So we got 3 in the net and
2 more coming in.
2 more coming in. This is a sign that the walleye fishing is real good. And I would say, Krista, we've definitely caught enough walleye today. What do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What a great morning. Only a few hours of fishing out here off of Leamington on Drifter 2 charters with Jim Fleming and Terry Vandewaar. Always fun getting out with these guys. They really know their stuff. What a great fishery. Tell you what we'll do is once we get these in, maybe we'll try a little perch fishing and we'll see what happens. And
All right, sounds good.
That's a lot of fish at one time.
that is. There we go. All right, another double header. That is the 5 fastest walleyes I think I've ever seen caught in all the years I've been doing the show. That's 5 quick ones, boy. That is a lot of fish. Awesome. Hey, we've had a great day walleye fishing out here, and we'll see. We might go and try to get some perch now too if the wind's not too bad out deeper. Awesome. Yeah, all right. This is a big fish. That is a fish of a lifetime. Well, that is just amazing.
Look at that thing.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, man. Woo. That was too cool. Oh, man, what a fish. Look at that. Yes.